The mind is everything. What you think, you become. Your mind is the most powerful weapon you have. It can either be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. Every battle you face in life, whether it's success, failure, pain, or progress, begins in your mind. You either win before you even start, or you lose before you take your first step. Think about this. How many times have you doubted yourself? How many times have you let fear, laziness, or distractions hold you back from what you truly want? The truth is, mental strength isn't something you're born with. It's something you train, something you develop every single day. Most people give up when things get tough. They let emotions control them. They make excuses. They settle for less than they're capable of. But not you. You're here because you want to be different. You want to be stronger, tougher, and unstoppable. And that's exactly what I'm going to help you with. Today, I'm going to tell you how to train your mind to overcome anything. Stay with me for the next few minutes as I break down the key principles to building unshakable mental strength. Let's dive in. Number 1. Your mind is the battlefield. Win or lose. It's up to you. Every great victory in life starts with a single decision. The decision to win. But before you can conquer anything in the outside world, you must first conquer the battlefield within your own mind. Everything you experience, every challenge you face, and every goal you chase is first fought in your thoughts. If your mind tells you that you're not strong enough, not smart enough, not capable enough, then you've already lost before you even begin. But if you decide right now that you will not back down, that you will not give in to doubt, that you will train your mind to endure, then nothing can stop you. Think of your mind like a battlefield where two forces are always at war. One side is fear, weakness, and excuses. The other is strength, courage, and determination. Which side wins? The one you feed. Every time you let fear take over, every time you listen to that voice telling you to quit, you're giving power to the wrong side. But when you push through the discomfort, when you silence the doubt, when you refuse to give up no matter what, that's when you start winning. History is full of people who overcame impossible odds because they won the battle in their minds first. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb, but he never saw failure as defeat. Instead, he trained his mind to see every setback as a lesson, every challenge as a stepping stone. The same applies to you. The greatest athletes, the most successful entrepreneurs, the strongest warriors, they all have one thing in common. They learned to master their minds before mastering anything else. So the question is, what side of the battlefield are you standing on? Are you feeding weakness, giving in to negativity, and letting self-doubt win? Or are you ready to take control, sharpen your mind, and step into the life you were meant for? The battle is yours to fight, and the outcome is yours to decide. Choose strength. Choose discipline. Choose to win. Number 2. Eliminate weak thoughts and replace them with power. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant in it will grow. If you fill it with weak, negative, and self-defeating thoughts, they will take root and spread like weeds, choking out every possibility of success, confidence, and strength. But if you plant powerful, empowering, and disciplined thoughts, they will grow into unshakable beliefs that drive you toward your goals. Every thought you entertain is shaping your future, whether you realize it or not. So the question is, what are you feeding your mind? Are you allowing weak thoughts to dictate your actions, or are you actively replacing them with thoughts that make you stronger? Weak thoughts are those that tell you I can't, I'm not good enough, this is too hard, I'll never make it. They are the thoughts that paralyze you, keep you stuck, and convince you that failure is your destiny. But here's the truth. These thoughts are not real. They are nothing more than stories your mind has picked up over the years, from fear, past failures, or the opinions of others. And just like stories, they can be rewritten. The first step to eliminating weak thoughts is recognizing them for what they are. Lies. Lies that your mind has been conditioned to believe. So how do you replace them? You replace them with power. You take every weak thought and challenge it with an undeniable truth. When your mind says, I can't do this, you replace it with, I will find a way. When your mind says, I'm not good enough, you replace it with, I am constantly improving and growing. This is not just about positive thinking, it's about mental reprogramming. Your brain is wired to follow the dominant thoughts you give it. And if you repeatedly tell yourself strong, empowering beliefs, your mind will begin to accept them as reality. This is why some people seem unstoppable, while others crumble under pressure. The strongest people in the world are not necessarily the most talented, the smartest, or the luckiest. They are simply the ones who have mastered the ability to control their inner dialogue. They refuse to entertain weak thoughts. They understand that what they think repeatedly becomes what they believe, and what they believe determines their actions. Take, for example, Muhammad Ali. He didn't just say he was the greatest. He convinced himself he was the greatest. He declared it long before he ever became a champion. Why? Because he understood that if he didn't believe it in his mind first, he would never achieve it in reality. He replaced any doubt with absolute certainty. He trained his mind just as much as he trained his body. And that mental conditioning made him one of the greatest fighters in history. You have to do the same. You have to train your mind like a muscle. The more you replace weak thoughts with power, the stronger your mental resilience becomes. Think of it like going to the gym. If you only lift light weights, your muscles will never grow. If you always choose the easy path, you will never develop strength. The same principle applies to your mind. If you let weak thoughts dominate your thinking, your mental strength will never grow. But if you challenge yourself daily, if you push through negativity and replace it with power, you will become unstoppable. One of the best ways to do this is through affirmations. Affirmations are not just words. They are commands to your subconscious mind. Every morning, look in the mirror and declare who you are and who you are becoming. Say it with conviction. I am strong. I am disciplined. I refuse to let weakness control me. I overcome every obstacle in my way. I am unstoppable. At first, it may feel strange. Your mind might resist it, but if you say it every day, with belief and emotion, your brain will begin to accept it as truth. And once your mind believes it, your actions will follow. Another powerful method is visualization. Athletes, entrepreneurs, and high achievers use this technique to program their minds for success. Close your eyes and see yourself overcoming challenges. See yourself pushing past limits. See yourself achieving your goals with absolute certainty. The more vividly you visualize it, the more your brain will accept it as reality. This is not just theory, it's backed by science. Studies have shown that mental imagery activates the same neural pathways in the brain as actual experience. That means if you repeatedly visualize yourself as strong, disciplined, and successful, your brain will begin to act in ways that make that vision come true. But it doesn't stop there. You also have to guard your mind against external negativity. Weak thoughts don't just come from within, they come from the outside world. Negative people, toxic environments, and constant distractions. If you are constantly surrounded by people who complain, make excuses, and accept mediocrity, those thoughts will seep into your mind. Protect your mental space. Cut off anything that feeds negativity. Choose your influences wisely. Read books that inspire you, listen to speakers who uplift you, and surround yourself with people who push you to be better. Most importantly, make a commitment right now. A commitment that from this moment forward you will no longer tolerate weak thoughts. You will no longer allow negativity to control you. You will train your mind every single day, just like you would train your body. You will replace every doubt, every excuse, and every fear with thoughts of strength, power, and determination. Because at the end of the day, the only thing standing between you and success is the way you think. If you want to be mentally strong, if you want to overcome any challenge, then it all starts here, by eliminating weak thoughts and replacing them with power. The choice is yours. Will you let weakness define you, or will you take control and train your mind to be unbreakable? Number 3, develop the discipline to push through pain. Discipline is the foundation of mental strength. It is the force that keeps you moving forward when motivation fades, when the excitement of your goals wears off, and when pain, struggle, and doubt begin to creep in. If you want to build an unshakable mind, you must develop the discipline to push through pain, because pain is inevitable. But how you respond to it is what separates the weak from the strong. Most people live their lives based on how they feel. If they don't feel like working out, they skip it. If they don't feel like working on their goals, they procrastinate. If they feel tired, they rest. If they feel discouraged, they quit. And this is exactly why most people never reach their full potential. Because they let their emotions dictate their actions. But discipline is different. Discipline doesn't care about how you feel. Discipline says, I will do it anyway. The truth is, nothing worth achieving in life comes easy. Every great accomplishment, every powerful transformation, every success story is built on the foundation of discipline. Look at the greatest athletes in the world. Do you think they always feel like waking up at 4 a.m. to train? Do you think they never have moments of self-doubt or exhaustion? Of course they do, but they push through it. They don't rely on motivation. They rely on habits. They don't wait to feel inspired. They show up regardless. That is what separates the champions from the rest. The ability to do what needs to be done, no matter how they feel. Discipline is about making a decision that you will not allow pain, discomfort, or difficulty to stop you. It's about understanding that pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. When you train your mind to push through pain, you develop an unstoppable force within you. You become the kind of person who keeps going when others give up, who finds a way when others make excuses, who embraces struggle instead of running from it. And once you develop this kind of discipline, there is nothing that can hold you back. So how do you build this level of discipline? The first step is to stop looking for the easy way out. The world is full of shortcuts, quick fixes, and instant gratification. But if you always take the easy path, you will never develop the strength needed to overcome real challenges. The strongest minds are forged in adversity, in struggle and pain. If you want to be mentally strong, you must train yourself to do hard things every single day. Wake up early when you want to sleep in. Go to the gym when you don't feel like it. Work on your goals even when you're exhausted. Every time you push through discomfort, you are strengthening your discipline. Another key to building discipline is learning to control your thoughts. Your mind will always try to talk you out of doing difficult things. It will tell you to take a break, to relax, to give up. It will give you every excuse to avoid discomfort. But you must recognize these thoughts for what they are. Weakness trying to take over. And the moment you hear that voice telling you to quit, you must silence it. You must override it with action. When your mind says, "I don't feel like it," you say, "Too bad, I'm doing it anyway." This is how elite soldiers, athletes, and leaders train their minds. They don't wait for inspiration. They don't negotiate with themselves. They execute. They follow their plan no matter what. That is the true definition of discipline. Sticking to a commitment long after the excitement has faded. Another powerful way to develop discipline is by embracing pain instead of avoiding it. Most people fear pain. They run from it, try to numb it, or complain about it. But mentally strong people see pain differently. They see it as a teacher, a test, a necessary part of growth. Because the truth is, pain is not the enemy. Weakness is the enemy. And every time you push through pain instead of giving into it, you are breaking past your limitations and becoming stronger. Think about the moments in your life when you felt the most growth, the most transformation. It wasn't when things were easy. It was when you faced difficulty, when you struggled, when you endured. That's because pain is the catalyst for strength. The more you embrace it, the more disciplined you become. This is why high performers seek discomfort. They take cold showers. They train in extreme conditions. They push themselves beyond their limits. Not because they enjoy suffering, but because they understand that suffering builds resilience. If you want to be mentally strong, you must start seeing discomfort as a gift, not a punishment. Every challenge, every hardship, every painful moment is an opportunity to become stronger. And finally, the most important part of discipline is consistency. Anyone can be disciplined for a day, a week, or a month. But true discipline is about long-term commitment. It's about showing up every single day. No matter what, it's about making discipline a lifestyle, not just a temporary effort. Because in the end, success is not about one big effort. It's about small, consistent actions, repeated over time. The person who trains their mind daily, who embraces discipline as a way of life, will always be ahead of the person who relies on motivation alone. So make a decision today. A decision that you will no longer be controlled by emotions, by excuses, or by temporary discomfort. A decision that you will develop the discipline to push through anything. Because once you have that level of discipline, nothing, no setback, no failure, no obstacle can stop you. You will be unstoppable. Number 4, embrace the challenge. Most people spend their lives avoiding difficulty. They pray for an easy path, for comfort, for a life free of struggle. But here's the truth. Comfort is the enemy of growth. If you want to be mentally strong, if you want to achieve greatness, you must stop running from challenges and start embracing them. The strongest people in the world, the ones who reach the highest levels of success, are not the ones who had the easiest lives. They are the ones who faced hardship, who struggled, who endured pain, and who chose to see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities to grow. Challenges are not there to break you. They are there to shape you. Every challenge you face is a test, an opportunity to prove to yourself that you are stronger than your circumstances. But most people see challenges as something to avoid. They get frustrated when things get hard. They complain. They make excuses. They look for an escape, and that's why they stay stuck, never reaching their true potential. Because they fail to realize that everything they want, the strength, the the discipline, the confidence, comes from going through challenges, not avoiding them. Think about this. If life was always easy, would you ever grow? Would you ever become stronger? If every workout in the gym was effortless, would your muscles ever develop? If every goal you set was instantly achieved without any struggle, would you ever learn resilience? The answer is no. Strength is built in struggle. Growth happens when you are tested. The more you embrace challenges, the tougher you become. Look at the most successful people in history. Great athletes, world leaders, entrepreneurs. None of them got to where they are by avoiding difficulty. They became who they are because they faced challenges head-on. Michael Jordan didn't become one of the greatest basketball players of all time by winning every game effortlessly. He got cut from his high school team, failed over and over again, and used those failures as fuel to work harder. Elon Musk didn't build revolutionary companies by avoiding problems. He faced financial ruin, countless failures, and industry skepticism. Yet he pushed forward anyway. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't talent or luck. It's the willingness to embrace the challenge. Most people see obstacles and immediately back down. They say, this is too hard. I'm not capable. Maybe this isn't meant for me. But mentally strong people see obstacles and say, good, this will make me stronger. They understand that every challenge is a chance to improve, a chance to develop mental resilience. They don't complain about difficulty. They seek it. They train themselves to get comfortable being uncomfortable. So how do you start embracing challenges instead of running from them? The first step is to change the way you think about difficulty. Instead of seeing struggle as something bad, start seeing it as necessary. Start seeing it as an essential part of the journey. Every time you encounter a challenge, remind yourself, this is making me stronger. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this teaching me? That simple shift in mindset will change everything. The next step is to actively put yourself in situations that challenge you. Stop avoiding discomfort. Push yourself every single day. Do the workout even when you're tired. Wake up early when you don't feel like it. Take on tasks that scare you. Challenge your limits every time you do something difficult. You are training your mind to become tougher. You are proving to yourself that you are capable of handling anything. Another important step is to stop making excuses. When things get hard, your mind will try to convince you to quit. It will tell you to take the easy way out, but you have to override that voice. When your mind says, I can't do this, respond with, watch me. When it says, this is too hard, say, good. That means it's worth it. Train yourself to reject weakness, to refuse excuses. Because the moment you stop making excuses, you become unstoppable. You also need to develop patience. Too many people expect success to come quickly. They want instant results, and when things don't happen fast enough, they give up. But real strength, real success, takes time. It takes years of consistent effort, of pushing through failures, of refusing to quit. If you truly want to be mentally strong, you must commit to the long game. You must accept that challenges will keep coming, and you must decide that no matter how long it takes, you will keep going. Think of every challenge like a weight you are lifting in the gym. The heavier the weight, the stronger you get. The more resistance you face, the more powerful you become. If you want to develop mental strength, you must embrace resistance. You must push through the moments when you want to quit, because that is where true power is built. In the end, it all comes down to one decision. Will you let challenges break you, or will you let them make you stronger? Every time life gets hard, you have two choices. You can complain, give up, and stay weak. Or you can rise up, push through, and become the strongest version of yourself. The choice is yours. But if you truly want to train your mind to overcome anything, then you must embrace the challenge. Because on the other side of every challenge is a stronger, tougher, more powerful version of you waiting to be unleashed. One of the best ways to train emotional control is through breathing techniques. When emotions start to take over, your breathing becomes shallow and rapid, making you feel even more anxious or overwhelmed. But if you consciously slow your breathing, you send a signal to your brain that you are in control. A simple technique is the 4-7-8 method. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7 seconds, exhale for 8 seconds. This slows your heart rate, clears your mind, and helps you regain control of your emotions in any situation. Another key to mastering your emotions is to separate feelings from actions. Just because you feel like giving up doesn't mean you should. Just because you feel unmotivated doesn't mean you stop working. Just because you feel angry doesn't mean you need to react. Train yourself to act based on logic and discipline not based on momentary feelings. This is what mentally strong people do. They have bad days. They feel frustration, fear, and doubt like everyone else. But they do not allow those feelings to dictate their behavior. This is why developing emotional discipline is so crucial. Because if you let your emotions run wild, they will control your thoughts, your decisions, and your entire life. How many people have destroyed relationships, ruined opportunities, or wasted years of their lives because they couldn't control their emotions? The world is full of people who let anger turn into hatred, who let fear keep them trapped in mediocrity, who let sadness turn into self-pity. But you have the power to be different. You have the power to train your mind, to master your emotions, and to take full control of your life. One of the most important things you can do is develop the habit of emotional resilience. This means that no matter what happens, you do not break. No matter what life throws at you, you refuse to let emotions take over. You accept that there will be hard times, that you will experience pain, but you do not let those emotions define you. You learn to let go of things you cannot control and focus on what you can. At the end of the day, the strongest minds belong to those who have mastered themselves. The ones who can feel fear, but still take action. The ones who can feel frustration, but still stay focused. The ones who can feel sadness, but refuse to fall into self-pity. If you want to be unstoppable, you must train yourself to rise above your emotions. You must learn to use them as fuel, not as limitations. So the question is, do you control your emotions, or do they control you? The answer to that question will determine the direction of your life. But if you are ready to take control, if you are ready to train your mind to overcome anything, then make the decision today. Master yourself. Because once you do that, nothing, no setback, no failure, no challenge will ever have power over you again. Number 6, stop complaining. Take full responsibility. Most people will never reach their full potential because they spend their lives making excuses, blaming others, and complaining about their circumstances. They point fingers at their past, their parents, their environment, or their luck. They convince themselves that life is unfair, that success is out of their reach, that they are victims of circumstances beyond their control. But here's the truth. Complaining never changes anything. Excuses will never get you closer to your goals. Blaming others will never make you stronger. If you want to be mentally tough, if you want to train your mind to overcome anything, then you must take full responsibility for your life. No matter where you come from, no matter what has happened to you, your future is in your hands. Taking responsibility is not about ignoring the difficulties you've faced. It's about refusing to let them define you. Yes, life can be unfair. Yes, you may have faced setbacks, betrayals, or struggles that others haven't. But dwelling on those things will not help you. Complaining about what happened in the past will not change your future. The only thing that will move you forward is taking full ownership of your actions, your mindset, and your results. Look at the most successful, disciplined, and mentally tough people in the world. Do you think they spent their time complaining? Do you think they wasted energy blaming others for their struggles? No, they took responsibility. They understood that no matter what life threw at them, they had the power to respond, to adapt, to grow, and to keep moving forward. Think of someone like Jocko Willink, the former Navy SEAL commander. His entire philosophy is based on a simple but powerful principle: extreme ownership. That means taking full responsibility for everything in your life. Your successes, your failures, your actions, and even the things that might seem beyond your control. No excuses, no blaming, just responsibility. When something goes wrong, weak people look for someone to blame. Strong people look for solutions. They ask themselves, what can I do to fix this? How can I make sure this doesn't happen again? That mindset is what separates winners from losers. The moment you stop complaining and start taking full responsibility, everything changes. Instead of saying, I can't lose weight because I have bad genetics, say, I will train harder, eat better, and do whatever it takes to get in shape. Instead of saying, I'm not successful because I didn't get the right opportunities, say, I will create my own opportunities and work until I make it happen. Instead of saying, I'm stuck in life because of my past, say, I will use my past as fuel to push myself forward. Taking responsibility means understanding that every decision you make shapes your future. It means realizing that you are in control of your time, your habits, your mindset, and your actions. The more you take ownership of your life, the more power you have to change it. People who complain are powerless. They are waiting for someone or something to change their circumstances. But people who take responsibility are unstoppable. They don't wait for change. They make change happen. So how do you start taking full responsibility? The first step is to eliminate the victim mindset. Stop seeing yourself as someone who is helpless. Stop believing that life is happening to you. Life is happening because of you. The way you think, the choices you make, and the actions you take every day determine where you end up. No one is coming to save you. No one owes you anything. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you will realize that you have the power to shape your own destiny. The next step is to hold yourself accountable. Set high standards for yourself and follow through on them. If you say you're going to wake up early, wake up early. If you say you're going to hit the gym, hit the gym. If you say you're going to start a business, then start taking action every single day. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop waiting for motivation. Discipline yourself to follow through, no matter what. And if you fail, own it, learn from it, adjust, and keep moving forward. Another key to taking full responsibility is to stop blaming external circumstances. Your job, your family, your past, none of these things can stop you unless you allow them to. The world is full of people who have come from nothing, who have faced unimaginable hardships, and still built incredible lives. They did it because they refused to make excuses. They focused on what they could control, not on what they couldn't. You must do the same. Mentally strong people do not waste time complaining. They do not waste energy on things outside their control. They do not sit around feeling sorry for themselves. Instead, they take action. They take full responsibility for their thoughts, their emotions, and their outcomes. And here's the truth. The moment you stop complaining, the moment you stop making excuses, the moment you decide to take full control of your life, that is the moment you become free. That is the moment you realize that nothing can stop you except yourself. So ask yourself right now, are you in control of your life, or are you letting your excuses control you? Are you taking full responsibility for your actions, or are you blaming others for your failures? Are you stepping up, owning your path and pushing forward? Or are you sitting on the sidelines waiting for life to change? The choice is yours. But if you want to be strong, if you want to train your mind to overcome anything, then there is only one option. Stop complaining. Take full responsibility. Own your life and move forward with relentless determination. Number 7, feed your mind. Protect your mental diet. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant in it will grow. If you fill it with negativity, self-doubt, and toxic influences, that's exactly what will flourish in your thoughts. But if you feed it with knowledge, discipline, and powerful ideas, your mind will grow stronger, sharper, and more resilient. The problem is that most people don't even realize what they are feeding their minds. They consume negativity all day, through the news, social media, gossip, and mindless entertainment, and then wonder why they feel weak, anxious, and unmotivated. If you want to be mentally strong, if you want to train your mind to overcome anything, you must take control of your mental diet. Just like the food you eat affects your body, the information you consume affects your mind. If you constantly fill yourself with junk, watching meaningless content, scrolling through negative news, surrounding yourself with people who complain, you are poisoning your mind. You are programming yourself to be weak, to be fearful, to be reactive. But if you carefully choose what you consume, if you surround yourself with positive influences, if you read powerful books, listen to inspiring people, and focus on ideas that push you forward, your mind will become unstoppable. Most people don't protect their mental space. They allow anything and everything to enter their minds. They wake up, and the first thing they do is check their phone, scrolling through social media, filling their brain with useless information before they even start their day. They consume news filled with fear, division, and negativity. They listen to people who complain about life, who blame others for their failures, who spread doubt and insecurity. And then they wonder why they feel stuck, why they lack confidence, why they struggle to stay motivated. They don't realize that their thoughts are being shaped by the very things they are consuming. If you want to be mentally strong, you need to take control of your environment. You need to be intentional about what you feed your mind every single day. That means cutting out toxic influences. Stop spending time with people who bring you down, who fill your head with doubt, who make excuses instead of taking action. Stop consuming content that makes you weaker, whether it's negative news, mindless entertainment, or anything that doesn't add value to your life. Instead, fill your mind with things that make you stronger. Read books that challenge your thinking, that push you to grow, that inspire you to take action. Listen to speakers, mentors, and leaders who have achieved greatness and who share powerful lessons on how to do the same. Surround yourself with people who are disciplined, who are striving for success, who push you to be better. One of the best ways to protect your mental diet is to create a daily routine that sets you up for success. Start your day with something powerful, whether it's reading a chapter of an inspiring book, listening to an empowering podcast, or writing down your goals and affirmations. Do something that strengthens your mind before the world has a chance to fill it with distractions. The way you start your day matters. If you begin your morning by feeding your mind with strength, you will carry that strength with you throughout the day. Another important part of feeding your mind is practicing self-discipline with your thoughts. Just like you wouldn't let someone dump garbage into your home, don't allow negative self-defeating thoughts to live in your mind. When you catch yourself thinking weak, negative thoughts, replace them immediately. If your mind says, "I can't do this," replace it with, "I will find a way." If your mind says, "I'm not good enough," replace it with, "I am constantly improving." The thoughts you choose to entertain will determine your reality. It's also important to be mindful of the energy you allow into your life. If you are constantly around negative people, no matter how strong you are, their negativity will start to affect you. Energy is contagious. If you surround yourself with weak-minded people, you will become weak. But if you surround yourself with disciplined, focused, and driven individuals, their mindset will push you to be better. Find people who challenge you, who hold you accountable, who inspire you to keep growing. And if you don't have those people in your life yet, seek them out. Through books, through online communities, through mentors who share their wisdom. Feeding your mind is not just about avoiding negativity, it's about actively seeking knowledge, wisdom, and personal growth. The most successful and mentally strong people in the world never stop learning. They read every day. They study the habits of great leaders. They invest in themselves. They understand that mental strength is not something you are born with. It is something you build day by day, through the information you consume and the thoughts you cultivate. Think about the great minds of history, leaders, innovators, and warriors. They did not waste their time consuming distractions. They spent their lives learning, improving, and mastering their craft. They understood that the quality of their thoughts determined the quality of their lives. If you want to be like them, you must do the same. At the end of the day, your mind will become whatever you feed it. If you fill it with weakness, excuses, and negativity, that's what will grow. But if you fill it with strength, discipline, and knowledge, you will become unstoppable. The choice is yours. Will you allow the world to control your thoughts, or will you take control and feed your mind with the things that make you stronger? Make the decision today. Cut out the negativity. Protect your mental space. Feed your mind with power. Because the stronger your mind becomes, the stronger you will be in every area of your life. And once you master your mental diet, nothing will be able to break you. Number 8, build unshakable confidence. Believe in yourself no matter what. Confidence is the foundation of everything you will achieve in life. Without it, you will hesitate, doubt yourself, and let opportunities slip away. With it, you will move with certainty, take bold action, and refuse to be stopped by fear or failure. But here's the truth. Confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you build, something you train, something you forge through discipline, self-belief, and relentless action. If you want to be mentally strong, if you want to train your mind to overcome anything, you must develop unshakable confidence, the kind of belief in yourself that does not waver, no matter what. Most people struggle with confidence because they rely on external validation. They base their self-worth on what others think, on their past successes or failures, on whether or not they get approval from the world. But that is a weak foundation for confidence, because the world is unpredictable. If you build your confidence on external factors, what happens when you fail? What happens when someone criticizes you? What happens when things don't go your way? If your confidence depends on outside approval, you will always be at the mercy of circumstances beyond your control. But if your confidence is built from within, if it is rooted in self-discipline, in preparation, in the unshakable belief that you will not stop until you win, then nothing, no failure, no setback, no criticism can take it away from you. So how do you build this level of confidence? The first step is to develop competence. Confidence does not come from wishful thinking. It comes from knowing that you are prepared, that you have put in the work, that you are ready for whatever comes your way. If you lack confidence in a certain area of your life, ask yourself, have I truly put in the effort to master this? Have I trained, studied, practiced, and refined my skills? Confidence is earned through effort. The more you train, the more competent you become. And the more competent you become, the more confident you will feel. It's a cycle. Train, improve, believe. Weak people try to fake confidence. Strong people build it through action. The second step is to control your inner dialogue. Your mind is constantly talking to you. It is either building you up or tearing you down. Most people sabotage their own confidence because they allow weak, negative thoughts to take over. They tell themselves, I'm not good enough. I'll probably fail. People will judge me. But mentally strong people do the opposite. They train their minds to speak with power, with certainty, with belief. They replace weak thoughts with strong ones. I am capable. I will figure this out. I don't care what others think. I believe in myself. The words you say to yourself matter. If you want to be confident, you must speak confidence into existence. Another key to building unshakable confidence is acting confident before you feel confident. Most people think confidence is something you feel first and then act on. But that's not how it works. The truth is, action comes first, and confidence follows. If you wait until you feel confident before taking action, you will never take action. But if you step forward, speak boldly, stand tall, and move with purpose, your mind will begin to accept that confidence as reality. This is why body language is so important. When you slouch, avoid eye contact, and shrink yourself, your brain registers weakness. But when you stand tall, hold eye contact, and move with certainty, your brain registers strength. The way you carry yourself shapes the way you think. One of the most powerful ways to develop confidence is through deliberate exposure to discomfort. Confidence grows when you face challenges, when you step outside your comfort zone, when you do things that scare you. If you always avoid difficult situations, if you always stay where it's safe and easy, your confidence will remain weak. But if you repeatedly put yourself in situations where you must perform, where you must take risks, where you must handle pressure, you will develop a deep, unshakable belief in yourself. Confidence is not built in comfort. It is built in adversity. Consider the greatest athletes, the strongest leaders, the most successful entrepreneurs. They didn't become confident by accident. They became confident because they put themselves in situations that forced them to grow. They faced rejection, failure, and doubt, but they kept going. They proved to themselves that they could handle anything, and that proof became the foundation of their confidence. Another critical aspect of confidence is detaching from the opinions of others. Most people allow their confidence to rise and fall based on what others think of them. But if you live for the approval of others, you will die by their criticism. You must develop the mindset that says, I don't need anyone's permission to believe in myself. No one can give you confidence, and no one can take it away unless you allow them to. Stop worrying about being liked. Stop fearing judgment. Stop seeking validation. The only validation you need is from yourself. To build unshakable confidence, you must also embrace failure as part of the process. Most people fear failure because they see it as proof that they are not good enough. But mentally strong people see failure as a stepping stone to success. They understand that every failure is a lesson. Every setback is a test. Every mistake is an opportunity to improve. If you are afraid to fail, you will never take bold action. But if you see failure as a necessary part of growth, you will move forward with confidence, knowing that every challenge only makes you stronger. Finally, confidence is built through consistency. You cannot expect to wake up one day and suddenly feel confident. It is something you must train every day, just like a muscle. Set goals and achieve them. Keep promises to yourself. Push yourself to improve. Take action even when you feel doubt. Confidence is not about being fearless. It is about taking action despite the fear. At the end of the day, unshakable confidence is a choice. It is a decision to believe in yourself, to back yourself, to refuse to let doubt, fear, or failure hold you back. Confidence is not given. It is built. And the only way to build it is through action. So make the decision today. Stop waiting for permission. Stop seeking validation. Stop doubting yourself. Believe in yourself no matter what, and watch how unstoppable you become. Number 9, be relentless. Never back down from a fight. Relentlessness is the quality that separates the strong from the weak, the winners from the losers, the ones who rise from the ones who give up. Being relentless means you refuse to quit, no matter how hard things get. It means you fight for what you want, even when you feel exhausted, discouraged, or broken. It means you keep going when everyone else has stopped, when others tell you it's impossible, when the road is full of people who had talent but gave up too soon, people who had dreams but let failure defeat them, people who could have been great but settled for mediocrity because they didn't have the heart to keep fighting. If you want to train your mind to overcome anything, you must develop relentlessness. You must become the kind of person who never backs down from a challenge, who never gives up on a dream, who never lets failure define them. Most people quit too easily. The moment things become difficult, they start looking for an exit. The moment they experience failure, they convince themselves it wasn't meant to be. The moment they face rejection, they let it crush them. But here's the truth. Failure, rejection, and difficulty are not signs that you should quit. They are tests. They are challenges designed to see how badly you want it. They are opportunities to prove to yourself that you have what it takes. Every time you push through when you feel like quitting, you are strengthening your mind. Every time you refuse to give up, you are becoming stronger, tougher, and more prepared for success. Think of the greatest champions in history. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Tom Brady. These athletes were not just talented. They were relentless. They refused to lose. They played through pain, through setbacks, through doubt. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Most people would have taken that as a sign that they weren't good enough, but not him. He used it as fuel. He trained harder than anyone else, and he came back stronger. That is what it means to be relentless. It means that no matter how many times you fall, you get back up. No matter how many times you fail, you try again. No matter how many obstacles stand in your way, you keep moving forward. The difference between winners and losers is not talent. It's not luck. It's relentless effort. Winners don't stop when they're tired. They don't stop when they fail. They don't stop when things get tough. They keep pushing, no matter what. They understand that success is not about how many times you win, but about how many times you refuse to give up. So how do you develop this level of relentlessness? The first step is to eliminate the option of quitting. Most people fail because they give themselves a way out. They say, if this doesn't work, I'll try something else. But mentally strong people don't think like that. They commit fully. They tell themselves, I will either succeed or I will die trying. There is no in between. When you remove quitting as an option, you force yourself to find a way. You force yourself to keep going even when things seem impossible. You train your mind to fight until the end. The second step is to embrace difficulty instead of avoiding it. Most people shy away from challenges because they don't want to struggle. But mentally strong people seek out difficulty. They know that every challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger. If something is hard, good, that means it's worth doing. If something is painful, good, that means it will make you tougher. The more you push yourself through difficult situations, the more relentless you become. Another key to becoming relentless is developing a strong reason why. If you don't have a deep, powerful reason for what you're doing, you will quit when things get tough. But if your reason is strong enough, nothing will stop you. Ask yourself, why do I want this? Why must I keep going? What will happen if I quit? Your why must be stronger than your excuses. It must be powerful enough to push you through pain, through doubt, through exhaustion. You also need to develop mental resilience. This means learning how to handle setbacks without letting them break you. When you experience failure, don't see it as the end. See it as a lesson. When you face rejection, don't take it personally. Use it as motivation. When things don't go as planned, don't complain. Adapt. Mentally strong people don't crumble under pressure. They rise. They adjust. They keep moving forward. One of the most important parts of being relentless is learning to push past your limits. Your mind will always try to convince you to stop before you reach your full potential. It will tell you to take a break when you still have more to give. It will tell you to slow down when you should be speeding up. But relentless people don't listen to that voice. They override it. They push through the discomfort. They keep going even when their body and mind are screaming at them to stop. That is where true strength is built. Not in comfort, but in struggle. Think of a marathon runner hitting the wall. There comes a point where their body is exhausted, where their mind is telling them to quit. But the ones who finish the race are the ones who push past that point. They find another gear. They refuse to let fatigue control them. They keep running even when every part of them wants to stop. That is what it means to be relentless. At the end of the day, relentlessness is a mindset. It is the refusal to accept defeat. It is the ability to keep fighting, keep pushing, and keep moving forward no matter what. The world will test you. Life will throw obstacles in your way. People will doubt you. You will experience failure, rejection, pain. But if you have the mindset of a warrior, if you train yourself to be relentless, nothing will be able to break you. So ask yourself, are you the kind of person who quits when things get tough? Or are you the kind of person who keeps going, no matter what? Do you back down from a fight, or do you fight until the end? If you want to be mentally strong, if you want to train your mind to overcome anything, you must make the decision today. Never back down, never quit, be relentless. Number 10. Live with purpose. Know why you must be strong. There is no greater force in life than purpose. It is what separates those who live with passion, drive, and determination from those who merely exist. Purpose is the fire that pushes you forward when times get tough. The reason you wake up every morning with energy, the anchor that keeps you grounded when the storms of life try to shake you. Without a clear purpose, even the strongest mind will eventually break. Without a strong why, discipline fades, motivation disappears, and life starts to feel meaningless. If you want to be mentally strong, if you want to train your mind to overcome anything, you must live with purpose. Most people wander through life without a real sense of direction. They wake up, go through the motions, chase comfort, and then wonder why they feel empty. They complain about their situation but never take action. They lack urgency, they lack drive, and they settle for mediocrity because they don't have a purpose that is pulling them forward. But those who know their purpose operate on a different level. They don't make excuses. They don't let distractions pull them off course. They don't waste time on things that don't align with their vision. They are focused, determined, and relentless because they are driven by something greater than themselves. Think about the most successful and mentally tough people in history. Every single one of them had a deep purpose, something bigger than themselves, that fueled their determination. Athletes don't train for hours every day just for fun. They do it because they are chasing greatness. Entrepreneurs don't sacrifice sleep and work through failures just for the money. They do it because they have a vision that drives them. Warriors don't endure pain and suffering just for the sake of it. They do it because they have something worth fighting for. When you have a strong enough why, you can endure anyhow. So the question is, what is your purpose? Why do you need to be strong? Why must you push through challenges? Why must you keep going, even when you feel like quitting? Your purpose is what will keep you in the fight when everything else is telling you to give up. If you don't have a clear purpose, you will always struggle to stay disciplined, to stay motivated, to stay focused. But once you define it, once you lock onto it with absolute certainty, nothing will be able to break you. Finding your purpose starts with looking deep inside yourself and asking the right questions. What drives you? What excites you? What impact do you want to make in the world? What kind of life do you want to build? What legacy do you want to leave behind? Your purpose should be something that ignites a fire inside of you, something that makes you want to jump out of bed in the morning, something that demands you become strong. For some, their purpose is to provide for their family, to break the cycle of poverty, to give their children a better life than they had. For others, it's to achieve greatness, to push the limits of what's possible, to make an impact on the world. Some are driven by the desire to inspire others, to be a leader, to show people what is possible when you refuse to quit. Your purpose doesn't have to be the same as anyone else's, but it must be powerful enough to keep you moving forward. Once you define your purpose, you must remind yourself of it every single day. Write it down. Read it every morning. Visualize it when you feel tired. Use it as fuel when challenges arise. Your purpose is your source of power. Never lose sight of it. When you train your mind to live with purpose, every decision becomes clearer. You no longer waste time on things that don't matter. You stop chasing distractions. You stop letting fear hold you back. Everything you do becomes intentional because you are no longer wandering. You are on a mission. But here's the truth. Purpose alone is not enough. You must act on it. You must back up your purpose with relentless execution. Too many people claim to have a purpose, but they do nothing about it. They talk about their dreams, but they never put in the work. They say they want to be strong, but they continue to make excuses. Purpose without action is just a fantasy. If you truly want to live with purpose, you must prove it with your effort. This means pushing yourself, even when you don't feel like it. This means staying disciplined, even when no one is watching. This means sacrificing short-term comfort for long-term success. Living with purpose is not about talking, it's about doing. It's about showing up every single day, putting in the work and refusing to quit, no matter how hard it gets. And here's something most people don't realize. Your purpose will evolve. The person you are today is not the person you will be in 5 years. As you grow, as you achieve goals, as you face new challenges, your purpose will shift. But the key is to always have one. Never live without purpose. Never let yourself drift aimlessly. Always have a reason to wake up and fight for something. At the end of the day, mental strength is built on purpose. When you have a clear purpose, you can endure pain. You can push through exhaustion. You can overcome anything that stands in your way. When you have no purpose, even the smallest obstacles will break you. That's why most people give up. They don't have a strong enough reason to keep going. But the ones who do, the ones who wake up every day knowing exactly why they are fighting, they are unstoppable. So ask yourself right now, what is your purpose? What are you fighting for? What is worth the struggle, the sacrifice, the pain? And once you find your answer, hold on to it with everything you have. Because purpose is the key to greatness. Purpose is the key to resilience. Purpose is the key to training your mind to overcome anything. Find your purpose, live for it, fight for it, and never stop moving forward. In conclusion, mental strength is not something you are born with. It is something you build. It is something you train, refine, and develop through discipline, resilience, and relentless action. Every day, you are faced with a choice: to be weak, to make excuses, to let fear and doubt control you, or to be strong, to push forward, to refuse to quit, no matter what. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is not luck or talent. It is mental toughness. The ability to keep going when things get hard, to silence the voice of self-doubt, and to control your mind instead of letting it control you. You have now learned the key principles of mental strength. You know that your mind is the battlefield, and if you want to win, you must take control of your thoughts. You know that weak, negative thinking must be eliminated and replaced with powerful, disciplined beliefs. You understand that discipline is the key to pushing through pain, that you must embrace challenges instead of running from them, and that you must control your emotions before they control you. You have learned that excuses are the enemy, and that taking full responsibility for your life is the only way to truly be free. You now know the importance of feeding your mind with strength, building unshakable confidence, and refusing to back down from any fight. And most importantly, you understand that without a strong purpose, none of this matters. But knowledge alone is not enough. You must act. Every principle you have learned means nothing if you don't apply it. Mental strength is built through action, not theory. You don't become strong by reading about strength. You become strong by training your mind, by facing difficulty head-on, by pushing through resistance, by proving to yourself every single day that you are capable of more. So make the decision today. Decide that from this moment forward, you will never let weakness control you again. Decide that you will train your mind to be strong, to be resilient, to be unbreakable. Decide that you will never settle for less than you are capable of. Because once you make that choice, once you commit fully, nothing can stop you. The world belongs to those who refuse to quit. Train your mind, strengthen your will, and go conquer your life.